The Future of Mental Health is Mutual Aid, a zine by Embracing.ambiguity. A guide to anti-carceral politicized peer support for a liberated future. We keep us safe, heard, and cared for. Part 1. You don't need a certification. Peer support certifications are BS. As peer support becomes increasingly recognized as invaluable, corporations and state agencies, which are part of the mental health industrial complex, are beginning to implement requirements for certifications. These certifications will only serve to qualify some forms of knowledge and practices while discrediting and devaluing others, create unnecessary and harmful hierarchy in peer relationships, co-opt peers to become part of systems they claim to fight against, and enable states and agencies to conduct surveillance and enforce peer specialists to comply with carceral tactics by threatening the loss of certification. Peer support is a practice. You don't need to be an expert to provide peer support, and certainly not a certification. Providing peer support involves developing a skill set, just like learning to play an instrument or a sport. Each time we engage in community care, we diversify our experiences and sharpen our skills. Questions to guide care conversations. Oh, part 2. These are a set of questions to ask yourself when providing support to a comrade. Am I asserting the concept of a consensus reality? We all experience the world differently. For example, a comrade hearing voices or seeing things that we cannot see, or a comrade having an emotional overreaction to something we found to be benign. When we tell our comrades that the voices aren't real or that they have no reason to be that upset, we are asserting the concept of a consensus reality, aka the belief there is only one most real reality. Instead of this, you can try being curious, asking your friend about their vision of reality, even if it's different from yours. Feel free to explain that your reality is different, but that doesn't mean that their reality is any less real. Am I providing the type of support this person wants? Do you know what your comrade is looking for in peer support? Have you asked? For example, they could be looking for advice, validation, resources, a hug, someone to listen, someone to cry with, or someone that can relate. It's not weird to ask the question, how can I best support you right now? You can even list the above options and categories while posing your question, as to not overwhelm with such an open-ended question. Are my actions and words rooted in a fearful or protective response? Situation. Your friend comes to you and says they're feeling suicidal. Many of our first responses are often rooted in fear or protection. For example, calling the police for a wellness check, asking your friend to go to the hospital, making your friend promise to stay alive, etc. Ultimately, not only are these responses very often unhelpful and traumatic, they don't center and support your friend. Instead, try sitting in the suicidality with your friend and creating space for it, showing love by respecting your friend's autonomy. Part 3. Mutual Aid for Mental Health in Action. Section 1. Build your own community space or group. Imagine having 20 minutes to freely speak anything on your mind with the opportunity to receive support from comrades, and then each of your comrades also have the opportunity to receive support from you. If this sounds good to you, check out MAST, which stands for Mutual Aid Social Therapy. Shout out, check them out on Instagram as well for more info. MAST is decentralized and autonomous. They provide the resources for you to start your own group in your community and or organizing network. Below is a simplified example of how a mass session can be run. Get in groups of 3. Person 1 has 20 minutes, person 2 has 20 minutes, person 3 has 20 minutes, and continue. Build your own higher level of care. Oh, section 2. I'm getting ahead of myself. Do you or a comrade want more structure, more time in therapeutic spaces, and more support, but you can't afford more therapy or treatment, can't find a program that is a good fit, don't want to enter a carceral system, or can't access a traditional high level of care for any reason? Build your own high level of care. One of the traditional high level of cares is called IOP, or Intensive Outpatient Program. It mainly consists of a bunch of groups that give your days structure and continuous support. We can try to replicate this by attending a series of free or low-cost peer support groups. Check out this calendar compilation of online peer support groups at the following link. Suppose I'll read that out as well. You can navigate to sarahbroes.wordpress.com/peer support group calendar. Build your own respite. Do you or a comrade need around-the-clock support, a change in environment, or physical company? Oh, section 3 or 2? It was 3. Goodness. First, is there already a peer respite in your area? You can check here. There's a link at power2u.org, directory of peer respites. These are typically small, short-term residences staffed 24/7 by peers and are an alternative to hospitalization. If not, ask for the support of your comrades. You can pick a home base. You need a change of environment? You want to sleep at a friend's house? Would you feel safer in your own? You could also gather a group of comrades who can show up for you. Who in your life do you feel safe with? Aim for a group of 3 to 7 people. And also, make a supporter schedule. Communicate your needs and assist your comrades in developing a support schedule for the next week. It could be helpful to split each day into shifts. Note, this can be a lot to organize, especially when we're already struggling. Consider asking for help in organizing it. Part 3. Peer support can be anything. Peer support could look like listening to and supporting a comrade, though peer support could also look like helping clean a comrade's apartment, being someone to cry with, prepping some meals for a friend, doing the dishes, the basics, money, shelter, food, childcare, doing the legwork of finding resources, sending emails, and making calls, and engaging in activities together like crafting, hiking, or joyful movement. Community care for a liberated future. Share this zine with a friend, leave it in your local coffee shop, take it with you, use it in times of need. For more, visit @embracing.ambiguity on Instagram. Enjoy!